Hello, welcome to the artclasses.com. This video I'm going to show you tips on drawing male female body. This is not the only way to draw or the main way to draw. This is just the way that I find useful most of the time, not always, but most of the time I use this method or this tip and trick to create my character like here and here. So usually I'll just make them a very simple gesture first, and then I'll just build costume or armor on top of it. Anyway, let's get started. So let's get started with the basic. First, I'm going to draw a really rough figure of a female. I start with a spine line, and then that's the hips. Going the torso, just the shape of the midsection first, and then I drew out the legs. So basically this is like a gesture drawing. So if you draw a figure a lot, go to a gesture drawing class, then you might be able to get this style. So this is usually how I start a figure, and as you see, when I draw a female, I usually draw a bottom heavy, and I start off with the spine line first, and then the hips, and then extend it to the torso, which I'm trying to make the torso slimmer than the width of the hip. Not so much, but at the and now giving her a really simple feature, and then she's gonna have a hair that tied up there, and then you can see the eye socket, her nose, and her lips. So this is a really simple way, or a simplified drawing of a female gesture. And now I've got to figure out where the arm's gonna go. So one is her arm down and the other arm's up. It's kind of like she's trying to throw some sort of a lance or the spears or something, trying to throw the other way, and just holding some object like a stick, a spears, I don't know what, but it's like a pose. So yeah, you notice, like I start off really simple, and this is like a couple of minutes drawing, and then you get the whole figure down with the little detail of the face, and then I can add her spine line, and then her structure, her rib cage down to the hips, and then the glutes, and then the hips on the other side. So yeah, that's a basic from the back side of female. And then I'm gonna draw the other one. This one is facing front. The hips is a little too big, so drawing on a tablet is slightly harder than the paper and pencil, because the surface is pretty slick. And then the same, I have I'm drawing her leg first, so it looks like she's grounded from the hips, and have her legs come up the other way, one straightened and the other one bent, her knee, and then just kind of rest her arm on her hips. So this one is pretty much a pretty generic pose, nothing fancy, no action pose. And then her chest, and then I'm trying to make her turn the other way, but it's okay, she can turn the same way. So she's turned pretty much a profile or the sideway on the left hand side, and then I'm gonna give her a long straight hair and some hair from the back. And after this you can always add the detail, or you can, if you think the butt she's a little too much of the bottom heavy, but you can like slim down the legs or adjust the body type however you prefer the character to be. So I'm just gonna slim down her leg a little bit, or elongate her leg to make her look taller and more heroic, or a little slender. when I start off gesture, I usually get the normal proportion. So this is basically, you know, when I start doing concept art or drawing figure or comic that are similar to like a Western style or a comic in America. But if you're drawing a manga, you probably want to get way slimmer than this. It's pretty, they don't focus so much on the curve or the a big exaggeration of proportion. And now I'm drawing another one. So from the backs, and one of her legs coming out. This one's gonna be even simpler. And the other legs over there. Maybe she's aiming, shooting a bow. So one of the arms carrying a bow, and the other one pulling the string. So, and then the bow right there, and then the string. So this one is less than a minute to get the structure of the figure. And right now I'm trying to draw a guy. So same thing, I start out with a spine line. This is not, you know, the only way that you can draw a figure, but this is the way that I usually draw it. This one's getting a little messy. It doesn't turn out like how I want it, but you know, the basic structure or the what I'm trying, the different that I'm trying to say is there. So you know, I tend to draw a guy like a start off with a big bulky upper body first, and then the lower body is not as, you know. And the good trick to tell if you're drawing convey the right sex is trying to draw it from the back. And if people can tell your character from the backside, that if it's a girl or a boy or a man or a male or a female, then you execute a figure successfully, because from the back you can't, you know, just drawing the chest part to make them look different. You have to actually make them look like male and female from the backside, which is, you know, that's like a good challenge. That could be your homework, and you know, go and try that. So now I'm gonna draw a guy from the front. It's gonna have some, you know, action pose right there, kind of leaping maybe there. So, and then one arm's up, it's like he's trying to smack something down. And then I like to draw a rib cage before I put his pectoral down. And there you go, a guy. So it's one is his arm up ready to smack down, and the other arm is kind of down there, maybe ready to punch. So you could like coming from up top, and the other arm is coming from below, so he could either uppercut you or, you know, hammer, doing the hammer move. And there I add the pectoral, and then you know, you could add detail, muscle detail that you know, on top of that. So this is just another quick one. You see, it look like nothing basically. Female bottom, kind of, you know, I like the bottom slender heavy. So now I'm just putting the pretty generic straight line, I mean straight pose. Usually it'd be better if you can put a pose in either C or an S curve, because that's give it a little more sensual or action. There's more movement in the line rather than just having it straight up or just vertically or anything straight. Everything with, you know, with a little slightly curved movement is better, I think. And here's a male. So as you can see, you know, just, you know, these are just basic stick figure line, but you know, if you go in and add more detail on, flesh it out, you know, moving, adjusting, you know, muscle group here and there on top of the drawing, then you could definitely make it a little more appealing as a character. So, but that's what it is. So and from here I'm going to show you some of the work that I use this as a base. So yeah, these are basic gesture drawing that I did over the years, and as you can see, you know, like same thing I did for the line, and then I do the hips, and then there the back, legs coming down, same as this one. As you can see, the hip line going, and then the torso, the arms, and then legs coming down there. And same thing for most of them, like this one sitting down, but I still compose the hip the same way, same as this one. So, and we're moving along, same as here, but here's a little more refined, so I add, you know, some shadow onto it, but basically they're the same. You can see a little, it's kind of low res, so I just dig it off from some files. So as you can see, they are simple, but then you can tell it's you know, female form, and it's pretty much the same thing. I compose the same way, like using the spine line and then hips down. And this one is one of my favorite one that I did, just because it's simple, but it's, you know, I don't draw much, but it show certain and convey certain movement and gesture and pose. Anyways, and here's another example that I'm talking about, the S curve. So basically the S curve is something that you do, oops, here. So it's like the body movement, or the body arc that, you know, kind of give it a certain flow of how the body mechanic works. It doesn't, you know, stiff like a straight drawing. So, you know, if you, most people that, you know, have a good posture, they have like a certain S curve or C curve. It make it a little more appealing, especially in a female figure. It make her look a little more sexy, or a little more alluring. Usually it make it more interesting to look at than just a step straight up. And same as this, her body kind of, you know, neck coming down here, arc, so you could get the torso, and then the hips coming down and then down here. So that's, and her head's going there. So that's the big S, and then you can go down, you know, legs down here more. So let's make it more interesting to look at, rather than just a stiff. And same as this one, you know, you come in, face might be here, but then her body just slightly, not, this one is not as much. Anyways, this also the S and the C curve, and I start the same way as that, and the legs going out. So, and I think that's a lot. It's the same, you know, C. And you come the male, same thing, but you know, there's a little more mass on top, but you know, you can see a little movement, a little, you know, movement on the body. It's a little more subtle, but it's there. And males, like, you know, start off drawing this. This guy is slimmer. I try to do it most time, but you know, sometimes I can't. This one you can a little bit, sort of like that. But you know, this one is, I try to not to make it stiff, just, you know, make it not too stiff. And this, you know, see the bigger top, kind of smaller bottom, and then go there. Same thing basically, and it doesn't matter, you know, if he's like a big buff guy or, you know, a slimmer guy or like a medium guy. Pretty much I start out the same way, using the those gesture technique that, you know, this one's probably, when I draw, I probably do it like this to begin with, and then the arms, and then I just, you know, kind of paint it over. So anyways, yeah, thanks for visiting the channel. Oh, there's a couple more I have here. So this one also, the line. So you can start off with, you know, interesting gesture and add it up, you know, making it, put a costume on and add correct or close to correct. There's no such thing as perfect anatomy. You can always find a mistake. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching the video. It's been a while that I haven't made a video because I've been busy, but yeah, you have any question or comment or anything, just post it down below on the comment and request also. All right, have a great day. Bye bye.